There was a time when you would go 5 years before seeing 5 southpaws on a big boxing card.
Do you think it has to do with the globalization of the sport? Are there more southpaws in other cultures?
Well, it's always been a tradition, believe it or not, in the Orient. You know, one of the most famous fighters ever come out of there way back about 40, 50 years ago was,
Flash
Lordy, who was a junior lightweight champion. But it's very common, and a lot of those guys are coming from kickboxing backgrounds also. But
where they stand in the southpaw stance?
They stand in the southpaw style a lot.
And then, Larry, you actually asked yesterday, are there any Filipino fighters who are conventional stance fighters? And I think Ray Boom Boom Batista was, incidentally.
We've seen a few, but we've seen an awful lot of southpaws. Makes me wonder whether some of them are naturally right-handed and are converted to southpaws.
I think that's the case. In fact, I've probably had about 3 southpaws myself: Michael Mora, Jesse Benavides, and presently Andy Lee. And all of those guys are really right-handed guys. They punch in the southpaw position, but they're really right-handed. As well as Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Well, this thing of turning around and putting the naturally stronger hand in front is something we're seeing more and more of throughout the sport because of the success of fighters like Moore and Oscar De La Hoya, a natural southpaw who fights in a right-handed stance. Yeah. And there are many of them that we could name.
And Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah, well, there has been a revolution since the 80s and with southpaw boxing with Hagler and Whitaker.
Oh, what's great about it is that there used to be a stereotype that southpaws had weak jabs and were basically defensive finesse fighters. Now we see southpaw sluggers, destroyers. Manny Pacquiao, #1, is the main event fighter tonight.
As a matter of fact, technically, the saying used to be southpaws were mostly smart technical fighters, and when you fought a southpaw, you crowded them, you put a lot of pressure on them, and you threw right-hand leads. That's not the case now. They are very aggressive themselves, a lot of them.
Meanwhile, here in round #1.
On the other hand, we get guys like Abragamov.
Please don't remind us. I had already managed to forget. Hard right hand by Mares. Staggers Diosdado Gabi. Now let's see if Mares can find a way to finish him right here in round 1. That might be a little too much to ask for, but the right hand lands again.
Up until that point, I thought Gabi was winning the round.
Yeah, you really can see the weight discrepancy right now. Gabi looks much physically bigger.
But slower.
So much slower also. You're right, Joe. Then that's the difference.
Come on. Sit down. Good. Good. Give it that. Okay. Ice bag. Good. Okay, Gab, you got to stay alert. Keep them hands up in this, son, okay? All right? Put your hands out. Gabby, keep your focus now, all right? Don't get sloppy defensively in there, you hear me? I need that good, sharp head movement, all right? Okay, baby.
Use the uppercuts, the left uppercuts. That hurts him a lot. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, your dad said you had blood.
Here you see Mares hit Gabi with a punch. It really didn't seem like it had that much power, but I think it was probably based on the fact that Gabi wasn't even looking for anything back. His whole mindset was on being aggressive. So the punch had a lot more effect than it normally would have had.
And round 2 begins. Gabi the southpaw in the red trunks. Abner Mares, of whom there are great expectations. Knocks him down with a straight right hand. You just don't like to see a guy gain 16 pounds overnight from an original weight of 119. It's not healthy.
And I don't think he's going to be able to survive because those guys are not trained how to clinch and survive. They're going to stand and fight all the way.
2 more hard right hand shots and a couple of left hooks. Mares is letting go. Second knockdown of the round. No 3 knockdown rule in effect. But Jay Nady makes a smart move in stopping the fight. There was no point in letting Gabi risk further punishment.
Mares is with the noted trainer we've mentioned so many times before,
Nacho Beristain,
who is a proponent of technical boxing.
Used to be anyway.
But he says that he had to teach Mares how to take advantage of the power he was not exploiting.
Yeah, I first saw him about maybe a year or two ago. He was being trained at that time by Floyd Mayweather Sr. I saw him at the gym in Las Vegas. And since then, I guess his last